Many truck drivers just drift through their truck driving career without a game plan and find themselves burnt out and broke after 30 years. Successful truck drivers have a game plan so they don't find themselves living in a cardboard box underneath the freeway. Speaking of success, this video is brought to you by GP Transco, one of the top driver-friendly companies. Career planning for truck drivers is essential these days because most truck drivers will retire with nothing more than a government pension plan, and that's not enough to live on. 401k plans are nice, but they're not all created equal, and they're not as good as a pension plan. If you're looking for a good carrier, good carriers offer a 401k with an employer match. Something else that's very important to look for in a good carrier when you're planning is a carrier that offers short and long-term disability. It may not seem like much, but you'd never plan to get sick or get injured, but it happens. And if COVID-19 taught us anything, it taught us that. GP Transco offers both a match to the 401k plan and a short and long-term disability plan. They're a top-notch carrier out of Joliet, Illinois. Check them out at gptransco.com. Many new drivers enter the trucking industry with a plan to eventually own their own truck. Some drivers try to accelerate this plan by leasing a truck from the carrier. This is a plan that I do not recommend drivers go down. Financial ruin is too easy on that path. Owning a truck is no longer the path to financial success that it once was. These days, it's more often a path to financial ruin. Most new truck drivers start out doing van work, but there are other niches in trucking that have always paid better, like flatbed or reefer or tanker. If you can't find a good carrier to work for hauling dry van, you should consider moving to one of these other niches for more money. Try not to job hop too often. Rarely is that a large financial successful gain when you do that. You're better off to think out your moves, plan them carefully, job hop as little as possible, and your resume will look better. Go with a carrier that has good equipment because most carriers don't pay for downtime. And with these new trucks these days breaking down all the time, you don't want a whole lot of unpaid downtime. Better yet, find a carrier that pays you by the hour when the truck is broken down. Planning to save as much money on the road as you possibly can is essential these days. The cost of living on the road has become exorbitant, and there's just no point in making McDonald's and Subway rich. They already are. Minimize your restaurant meals because money spent at McDonald's and Subway is money lost. It's money that you could be putting in your bank account. Try to live frugally on the road as much as possible and save as much as possible. Another tip, put away money from every paycheck that you receive, and if you have a really good week, put away a little extra. It's all going to add up. When you're going to a new carrier, always find out exactly what their pay schedules are, when your paychecks will be there, and for what time period you will be paid for. Carriers love to hang on to your money as long as possible. So plan financially, get to know the carrier's pay schedule so you can bank accordingly. When charting a path in your trucking career, remember unionized companies are often a good way to go these days. They don't operate with the same stigma that they had a generation ago. Unionized jobs now are considered very good jobs in trucking, and they generally have pension plans. Private fleets are a good option. They pay better, and they often have pension plans as well. Some financial planners actually recommend that you chart out your career course on paper with specific timelines and specific goals to help you keep your eye on the ball to make sure you achieve those goals at the time you're planning on achieving them. Now, as a brand new driver, I wouldn't expect you to have a career plan the first couple of years in the industry. You're too busy focusing on getting your CDL, finding a company that you're comfortable with, and getting comfortable with the equipment. But after a few years, you should start to think about charting a career path if you plan on staying in trucking in the long term. That way you won't end up in the cardboard box underneath the freeway at the end of your career. Stay safe, keep the rubber side down, Plan your trucking career rather than swinging by the seat of your pants and hoping your career just works out and drops in your lap. And I'll see you on the back haul.